What if the real prison isn't your job, but the way you think about time? The 4-Hour Workweek teaches you how to escape the cycle of working harder and start living smarter. Today, we read diving deep into a book that has changed millions of lives. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And let me be clear, this isn't just about working less. It's about designing a life of freedom, discipline, and genuine purpose. This book is a manual for breaking free from the traditional limits we place on ourselves, for stopping the autopilot mode most of us run on, and for creating a life where every minute is used intentionally, not just wasted. If you've ever felt stuck, overworked, or like you're just going through the motions, then stick around. We're going to explore the powerful ideas that will help you take back control of your habits, your productivity, and ultimately, your entire future. Let's start with the foundational concept, lifestyle design. What does that even mean? Well, think about the typical life script. Wake up, rush to work, come home exhausted, eat, sleep, and then repeat it all over again. Society tells us this is normal. Tim Ferriss completely challenges that system. His message is shockingly simple but revolutionary. Don't build your life around your work. Instead, build your work around the life you actually want to live. This is a massive mental shift. It requires you to stop and ask yourself, what do I truly want? What would my ideal day, week, or year look like if I wasn't constrained by a 9-to-5 job? The self-improvement takeaway here is powerful. It's about knowing exactly what you want with crystal clarity. It's about stopping this pattern of living by default and starting to consciously design your future, step by step. This isn't about being lazy. It's about applying discipline to your time, not just your effort. It's about being the architect of your own life, not just a passenger. This brings us to the next big idea. The new rich. When you hear the word rich, you probably think of millionaires with fancy cars and huge houses. Ferriss introduces a completely different definition. The new rich are people who value time, flexibility, health, and freedom far more than they value a massive salary. For the new rich, true wealth isn't measured by the number in your bank account. It's measured in how much time you control, how much freedom you have to do what you love, and how much peace of mind your lifestyle brings you. The motivational angle here is profound. Don't just work to earn money, work to earn your life back. What good is a 6-figure salary if you have no time to enjoy it, if your health is failing, and if you're constantly stressed? The goal isn't just to be financially rich. It's to be time rich, freedom rich, and experience rich. This redefines success entirely. It's about having the autonomy to live life on your own terms, right now, not someday in the distant future. So how do we get there? This leads us to one of the most practical and disciplined principles in the book, elimination. Ferriss has a famous quote, "Being busy is often a form of laziness." Let that sink in. We often fill our days with tasks to feel productive, but are we actually moving forward? He encourages a ruthless process of elimination. You need to identify and cut out low-value tasks, pointless meetings that could have been an email, endless hours of mindless scrolling on social media, and any work that creates immense stress but delivers minimal results. This is where real self-discipline shows up. It's not about forcing yourself to do more. It's about having the strength to do less but better. It's about learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals, protecting your time as your most valuable asset, and focusing only on what truly matters. When you eliminate all the noise and mental clutter, you create space. And in that space, your productivity doesn't just improve, it skyrockets. Once you've eliminated the non-essential, the next step is automation. This concept is often misunderstood as just outsourcing tasks to a virtual assistant. But it's so much bigger than that. It's about breaking the mindset that you personally must do everything yourself. In your personal life, this means creating routines and habits that run automatically, so you don't have to spend mental energy on them. Think about preparing your meals for the week on a Sunday, or laying out your workout clothes the night before. You're reducing decision fatigue. In a professional context, it could mean using software to handle repetitive tasks or creating systems so that your business can run without your constant manual input. The goal of automation is to save your most precious resource, your mental energy. When you're not bogged down by 1,000 tiny decisions and tasks, you free up your mind to focus on what humans do best: creativity, problem-solving, and personal growth. Now for one of my favorite concepts: mini retirements. The old model of life is to work relentlessly for 40 years, save up, and then finally, at age 65, you get to retire and enjoy life. But what if your health is gone by then? What if your passions have faded? Ferriss argues for a much smarter approach. Take multiple mini-retirements throughout your life. These are not just long vacations. They are intentional breaks, maybe 1 to 3 months long, dedicated to rest, travel, learning a new skill, or simply resetting your perspective. Imagine spending a few months learning Spanish in Spain, or volunteering for a cause you care about, or finally writing that novel. These experiences do more than just provide a break. They build courage, they heighten your self-awareness, and they give you a renewed sense of balance and perspective. It reminds us that discipline isn't just about the grind. It's also about having the wisdom to know when to pause, recharge, and truly live. Finally, none of this is possible without tackling the biggest obstacle of all: fear. This is where Ferriss's concept of fear setting comes in. It's one of the most powerful mindset exercises you can ever do. It's simple. You take your biggest fear, the thing that's holding you back from making a change, and you write it down in excruciating detail. What is the absolute worst-case scenario that could happen? Then you ask yourself, what could I do to prevent it? And if the worst did happen, what could I do to repair the damage? What you'll often find is that the worst-case scenario is not as catastrophic as you imagined, and it's almost always reversible. This exercise builds incredible emotional strength, confidence, and mental clarity. It's about replacing vague anxiety with a concrete plan. The motivational message here is life-changing. Once you stare your fears in the face and define them, they lose their power over you. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action despite it, so let's bring it all together. The 4-hour workweek is not a magic formula for escaping work. It's a guide to escaping your own mental limits. It's a blueprint for a different way of living. If you want a life filled with freedom, meaning, and continuous growth, the principles are clear. You must simplify your life and eliminate what doesn't matter. You must focus your energy on the few things that produce the biggest results. You have to think differently, challenging the assumptions that society has handed you. You need to be intentional with your time, your energy, and your choices. And most importantly, you must have the discipline to not only work smart, but also to design the future you consciously choose. You don't need a new job to be free. You need a new mindset. When you start to work smarter, live more intentionally, and consistently choose courage over comfort, that's when your entire life begins to transform. Thanks for watching. If this inspired you to rethink your own approach to life and work, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into life-changing ideas. See you in the next video.